Okay, so for our class today, what we're going to do is we are going to do the odds today as much as I can, and then your homework is to just finish up the what? The evens. All right, I don't think it's really that hard for you. All right. Okay, so again, number one, let's see what we got here. It says, Carlos traveled 347 miles to go to his cousin's house. It took him about 5.5 hours to drive. Estimate his average speed in miles per hour. Can anybody tell me how I figured this out? Yes, sir. That's true, except you kind of did it backwards, right? You mean what? Say it again. Yes, 347. So everybody write down in their notes. You're going to do 347, and you're going to divide it by 5.5. All right? Now let's practice our division. All right? So off to the side, right? We're really going to, let me make my pen a little smaller. All right, bless you. We're going to do 5.5 goes into 347. What's the first thing I need to do? Bless you. What's the first thing I need to do?
Figure out.
I have to move the what?
The decimal.
Yeah, you have to move the decimal. So it's 5.5. I'm going to move it over once here, which means I have to move it over 1, which means I have to add that 0. Is everybody good with that? Right? Now it's a matter of how many times does 55 go into 347? All right. Well, think of it like this. What's 55 times 2? 110, right? So to me, it's easier to count by 110. Right? 110, then what? 220, and then what? 330. Does everybody see that? So we did that 3 times, which means we multiplied 55 times, nope, 6. Who said that? 6. Very good. All right, because we doubled 55 to make it easier on ourselves, right? So let's put a 6 here where it belongs. And then 6 times 55 we said was 330, right? And then from there, does everybody remember we have to do a little subtracting, right? All right. Oh, sorry. So once you subtract 7, 1, and now you bring down the what? Now you bring down the 0. So how many times does 55 go into 170? 3 times, right? So let's give that a shot. So 55 times 3 is 165. All right. Now, it says here, estimate. Right? So we could just say about what? Is everybody okay with that? 63. Now, we wouldn't just say 63, but let's say what? 63 miles per hour. All right? Now, the next thing I want to do is, I'm gonna, to be honest with you, I forgot that it said estimate. So we're going to do it even quicker than that. All right, we're going to do it quicker. So 5.5 would just round to what? Does everybody say it's just 6, right? 6 hours. Is everybody good with that? And then I want to figure out what number is close to 347 that's divisible by 6. 300, well, does 35 divided by 6 evenly? So not 350, but what? Yeah, 360. Does everybody see why I would choose 360? Right? So the reason I chose 360 is because it's divisible by 6. Right? And then if I do that, what's that answer now? It's 60. Do you agree? Isn't that a pretty good estimate? Because we came up with what? 63, and we estimated to be what? 60. All right, so I don't want to confuse anybody on there. So I'm trying to make you better at mental math. That's what I'm trying to do. So if you're not understanding what I'm doing, you need to just say, hey, show me real quick. Or I'll repeat myself. Yes?
So you estimated 360.
Yep.
And divided by 6.
Why did I do it that way?
Just because it's estimating.
That's right. It's much easier that way. Much easier. All right, and that's what you guys need to be good at. You need to be good at estimation. All right, is everybody happy with that? Again, remember, don't be shy. If you don't know something, speak up. Yes?
So So you found that 6 went into 360 and it was close to 347?
That's exactly correct. All right? All right. Now let's check out number 3. It says, a restaurant is offering selected 3-course meals for one price. Customers can choose from 2 appetizers, 3 main courses, and 2 desserts. How many different dinner combinations are available? Does anybody know how to do this one? All right, so now, what do you think? What did you think? You multiply them all together. Pat yourself on the back. Good job. All right, and then I'm going to explain why you're going to multiply them all together here in a minute. But the answer is 2 times 3 times 2, which is what?
12.
So there are 12 possibilities. All right, there are 12 possibilities. But now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll this up and I'm going to show you the possibilities. All right, I'm going to show you how to count them quickly. So there's 2 appetizers. So the appetizers I'm going to call A1 and A2. Is everybody okay with that? This is what I want you to write down. All right, appetizer 1 and appetizer 2. Then there are what? 3 main courses, right? So I'm going to do main 1, main 2, and main 3. Is everybody good with that? And how many desserts? 2 desserts. So what do you think I'm going to do with desserts? D what? Yes, D1 and D2. All right. Now last year we tried to do some tree diagrams. All right, but I'm going to try to show you what that means. Somebody figured out a quick way to count possibilities, and then he made a discovery that instead of doing this long, elaborate tree diagram, I can do what with the numbers? I just multiply them together, and that's the answer. But that doesn't make sense if I just say multiply them together, right? So because we don't know why. All right, but now I'm going to show you the why, and I want everybody to try to draw a tree diagram with me. All right? So from my appetizers, I can choose either what? A1, or I'm going to come over here and say I can choose A2. Does everybody agree with that? Now, if I select appetizer 1, then I can have how many main courses? How many main courses are there? 3. So now watch what this guy figured out. He's going to branch it off this way. Then he came straight down. Then he came over here. So this guy can have either main course 1, main course 2, or main course 3. Did everybody see that? Now, for A2, that also he could have what? He could have main course 1, main course 2, or main course 3. Is everybody happy with that so far? Does everybody understand what I'm doing, right? Everybody see that? Now, after the main course comes the what? The dessert. So I have how many selections? 2. So main course 1, after I eat my main course 1, I can get either what? Dessert 1 or dessert 2. For meal 2, I could also get what? Dessert 1 or dessert 2. Main 3, I could have what? Dessert 1 or dessert 2. And now this guy recognized a pattern. Now again, this is what I need for you to have. All right? Because I think this is important. So I could have selected, now I need your eyes up. Eyes up. I could have selected appetizer 1 with main course 1 with dessert 1. That would be one choice, right? Then I could do A1, M1, and what? D2. I then could do A1, M2, D1, A1, M2, D2, A1, M3, D1, A1, M3, D2. Does everybody see that? Now, come on, guys. That looks hard, but after I drew it out, is it really that hard? No, it's really not hard. But for most kids, that's really hard to do. All right? Now, what did we say the answer was?
12.
So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Does that make sense? Right? So if I wanted to list everything out, it even allows me to list everything out. Like I said, A1, M1, D1, A1, M1, D2, A1, M2, D1, A1, M2, D2, A1, M3, D1, A1, M3 what? D2. Does everybody see that? Right? And now the same thing over there. I don't want to waste my time doing that, but does everybody see I can do that over there too, right? All right. So now, Connor, instead of having to do what? This whole table, what could I easily do? Multiply them together, and that would tell you your answer. But before they knew that, they would write all this stuff out. All right. That way they could figure out all the different possibilities. All right. So that was good. All right. Now, I'm really happy with you on that. All right. Now let's jump down to question number 5. The total number of students if there are 19 in one class and 13 in another. Now it just says write a numerical expression. That's very easy. Who's going to tell me that one? 19 plus 13. So just write that down. 19 plus 13. All right. All right. Now we're on number 7. We're just going to do order of operation. All right. I'm waiting for somebody. Who's got it? Yes, ma'am. Yes, 45. All right. All right. Now let's try to do the mental math on this one. Let's try to do the good for you, Julia. Tell me. Tell me how you got that. Oh. Here we go. No, listen to me. You're doing 8, which is perfectly good. But I want you to do which one? We're going to do the odds. All right, so don't worry. I'm happy with you. Just look at 9 now. Do your mental math on 9. Wait. Say that again. 6 minus 2. Yes, keep going. And then you're awesome. All right. Take your time. All right. No rush. Number 11. Yes, I'm happy, guys. Do you have any issues with that? No, I think it's easy. You're right. All right. Ooh, this is good. 13. I want someone. Oh, yes. Colin, you get to read this one.
Yeah.
Good.
You, Colin, and Sydney spent $284 to make bracelets. They sold the bracelets for $674. If they split the profits evenly, how much did each person earn?
Now, on this one, I'm not sure how much you guys know about profit. So, because it's kind of business, some of you are very good with business. Your parents are in business. They talk to you about profit and loss. Can you tell me what a profit is?
Profit is what you make from selling something or from a job.
That's 100% correct. So if you buy something for $10 and sell it for $12, you made a profit of what? $2. All right. So now we have to figure out how much profit they made. How would I figure out how much profit they'd make? Let them talk.
So to figure out the profit, it would be.
Tell me how to do it.
We have to subtract.
Yes, sir. Subtract. So everybody go ahead and subtract real quick. And Colin, you tell me that answer.
All right. And the answer is.
Yes, that's right.
So they made, and the profit is $390.
Yes, $390 is the profit. But is that the answer to the question, Colin?
No, it isn't.
No, it is not. What do I have to do next?
Now we have to divide it by 3.
That's correct. Now that should be mental math for you, right?
Yes, and the answer is 130.
You're awesome.
Yes.
$130. Listen, if you understand that, or you did a good job on that, you can pat yourself on the back if you knew what to do on that. That's pretty good. All right, I was kind of happy with you know about a little bit about profit. All right, so now next page. I'm on 15. All right, I'm on 15. So let's talk about 15 real quick. 3a plus b.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
3 times 4
Which
plus 8.
which is?
And 3 times 4
12 plus 8.
Oh, 12 plus 8 is 20.
Yes, you see that, right? Good, 20. All right, so I need a volunteer for 17. Go ahead. What do I have to do?
So 3, A is 4, so it's going to be 3 plus 4.
What is it going to be?
34.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So listen carefully, please. All right, and relax. All right, follow along with me. All right? This means 3 times A. Right? Not 3 plus, not 34. That means 3 times A. So what's 3 times A?
3 times 4 is 12.
Right? So put 12 down plus, now what?
12 plus 4 times B and 8 times 4 is 32.
Good, then what?
And then minus C and C is 11.
Good job. So what's my final answer?
So 32 plus 12 is 44. And then minus 11, that's 32.
I think it's 33. Right? Now let me explain something right up here real quick. Could have made it easy for him. Easier in my opinion. Look up. 12 minus 11 is what? 1. You could have done that. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
And then I'll just make it easier. 32 plus 1, which is what?
33.
33. All right? So I'm happy with that. All right? Now let's do number 19. Number 19. Tell me.
So it's going to be 12 plus 3. A is 4, so 3 times 4 is 12. So it's going to be 12 plus 12. And then plus 8. So
Don't be sorry. Take your time. Get it right.
So it's going to be 24 plus 8. 32.
You're awesome. 32. Perfect. All right. Miss Manny, tell me about 21.
Okay, so 3 times A is 12 minus C is 9.
Good job. Very nice. Bless you. Bless you. All right. Now, if there are 36 inches in a yard, how do I find the number of yards given that I have X inches? You gonna tell me that? What do you do? Good for you. Now remember, X is some number, right?
So 36 X divided by 36.
You're awesome, girl. Very smart. Very, very smart. So you take the total number of inches and you would divide it by 36, and that would tell you the number of yards. So all you have to do on this is just go X over 36, and that's your answer. All right, that's your answer. Is everybody happy with that? All right. Now we have to name the property for number 25. Who remembers that property? Property. What is that property? Do you remember? What is it? That's exactly right. Notice again, the order is the same, so it can't be commutative. If the order is the same and the parentheses are different, how you're grouped is the associative property. All right? And that's going to be of multiplication. Associative property of multiplication. All right? Now we have to simplify 27. All right? Let's simplify 27. Tell me. 12 plus V. However, V plus 12. And again, it doesn't matter though. v plus 12. All right. All right. Tell me about 29. Go ahead.
So first it's 2 plus 3.
Right?
That's 5. Plus 4.
Yep.
So 9. So x plus 9.
You're awesome, buddy. Good job. X plus 9. All right. Yes, ma'am. Number 31. You tell me. Yep, that's all it is. Very good. 25x. That's very easy. All right, very good. So let's see what 33 says. All right, let's see what 33 says. Oh, this one's tricky. It says, Mia has 14 coins in her pocket that total $1.10. What are the coins in her pocket? I'm going to put it a pause right now. In this case, really I thought it was going to be a little bit more complicated, but he's exactly right. 4 quarters make $1 and 10 pennies. Okay, so in this, again, would just be 4 quarters and 10 pennies. All right. Now let's look at 35. All right, for 35. Can somebody tell me what is meant by consecutive evens? What was consecutive evens? Well, like, give me an example of consecutive evens.
Like 6 times 6.
No, consecutive.
2 and 4.
2 and 4 would be consecutive, right? They're in order, okay? So I want to know what 2 numbers added together make 150, but they both have to be even. They have to be consecutive numbers. So everybody try to figure that out real quick. All right? Try to figure that out. What 2 numbers added together that are both even that make 150? Now, 50 and 100 is correct. However, they're not consecutive. It would have to be like 50 and 52. You with me on that, right? What is it? 74 and 76. All right, were you right there? Close, right? So again, 74 plus 76 are consecutive integers, and that adds up to what? And that adds up to 150. All right? So that's not too bad. All right. Now, the next part right here, the only thing that I really want to talk to you right now about reviewing real quick is the domain and range. All right, so everybody put this down now for me, and I'm going to tell you how I want you to remember it too. I'm going to make my pen a little darker now. All right, so domain, I want you to write this down. Domain is simply the x values and the range. If the domain is the x values, what's the range? The y values. That's exactly right. So write that in your notes. Now, an ordered pair is written x comma y. Right? So we say, where we try to tell kids that the coordinates are written in alphabetical order. X comes first, then Y. Is everybody with me on that? All right. Now the next thing I want you to try to remember is, because I had a hard time remembering, domain went with the X and range went with the Y. So I learned it this way. They're in alphabetical order. Domain comes before what? And X comes before. Is everybody good on that? Now here's how I want you to write the domain. Domain, colon, and then you're going to try to make a set. All right? So what are the x values in question number 37? What are the x values?
1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4.
You are awesome. That's all there is to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And by the way, you don't have to repeat the numbers. Is everybody with me? You don't have to repeat the numbers when you're listing them. What's the range for number 37? What was the range? What is the range? What is it?
4, 8, 12, and 16.
You're awesome. 4, 8, 12, and 16. All right, and this is number 37. And the last one for today, 39. Domain. Good for you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody else give me the range. Go ahead, Connor. Good for you, buddy. 1, 4, 9, 16. Does everybody agree that's simple? Everybody agree? Very simple. All right. So now, what do I need you to do tonight? The what? The evens. All right. Now, I'm not sure exactly what. Okay. So, starting with the evens now. All right. Let's get started. It says Julie walked 3 miles each day in March and April. How many miles did she walk all together? What do you think? How did you get that?
Because there are 31 days in March and 30 days in April, so I multiplied 31 by 30.
Exactly. Right? Does everybody understand that? There are different days. Does everybody remember that little rule where you go January, February, March, April, May, June, July on your knuckles and do it? Like the knuckle itself are the 31. In between knuckles are 30, except for February that has what?
20.
Right, so January has 31, February has 28, March has 31, April 30, May 31, June 30, July 31, start over, August 31. Does that make sense? And then just continue it on. Does that make sense? That's kind of a cool little way. All right. So we say March and April has a grand total of how many days? 61. Right? So 61. And if you do 3 miles each day, you just have to multiply that by what? 3, which is obviously 183 what? 183 miles. All right? Question number 4. There are 140 students going on a field trip. A maximum of 22 can fit on each bus. How many buses do we need for the field trip? How many buses?
Wait, so you just divide?
Yes, say it.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, I know. Tell me what to do.
So you do 22, or you do 140 divided by 22.
Right, 140 divided by 22. Now, I don't feel like doing that, so I'm trying to teach you something now. What can I reduce that by? What can I divide both those numbers by? I can divide both those numbers by 2, right? So then it's the same as what? 70 divided by 11. So how many times does 11 go into 70? 6. But because we're talking about buses, can I take a fractional part of a bus? No. So I would need to order how many? 7. If I order 6, you won't have enough. All right? So we need 7 buses. All right? Everybody good with that?
Yes.
All right. Let's take a look now at question number 6. The number of soccer players on each of 5 teams if there are a total of 35 players. What do I have to do?
You could divide 35 by 5.
And that's the answer. That's the answer. We don't have to come up with the answer because it just says write the expression. Is everybody good? But if you wrote the answer, I wouldn't be mad. It's just not necessary. Right? So you would just simply say he's correct. 35. Remember, we're writing division as a fraction. We're writing division as a fraction. All right? Now we're really going to work on our mental math now. All right? It seems like we're missing somebody. Who are we missing? No one?
Where's Ben?
I think we're just being quiet.
Yeah, I'll just turn.
We're just in different scattered.
What about Ingalls?
English isn't in this class.
Oh,
She's in algebra.
all right.
She's in high math.
Okay, thank you. All right, sorry. Here we go. Number 8. Volunteer for number 8. Yes, sir.
So 12 minus 4 is 8 plus 2 is 10 times 4 is 40.
I want everybody to be able to just look at that and tell me the answer is 40. Now, if you don't know that it's 40, take a shot right now and let me help you with it. All right, is everybody comfortable with that being 40? Everybody should make an A on the first test because just a review. Is everybody good?
Yes.
All right. Number 10. Mr. Slack, what are you thinking?
Okay. See, one thing that always confused me is when like a single number was in parentheses. What did that?
That just means multiplication.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Oh.
So what do we do now?
So do 9 times 2,
Which is
18.
good.
And 8 times 7, which is
Let him to think. Let him think. Don't listen to anybody because usually they're wrong.
56.
Thank you. 56.
And so 18 plus 56.
Now, anybody should I do that mentally better? Watch. I add 20. 56 plus 20 is what?
56 plus 20 is 76.
Subtract 2.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
So, 74.
You see what I'm saying, right? Anytime I add 19 or I add 20, right? To me, if I'm adding 19 or 18, I just go ahead and add 20 and subtract 1 and subtract 2. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Sometimes it's okay even if you want to add 17 to add 20 and subtract 3. All right, those little things that can help you with the mental math. Yes. All right. Now, question number 12. You got it?
Yeah.
Miss Danzy.
2 plus 3 is 5.
Good.
5 divided by 5 is 5. And then 4 times 5 is 20.
We are amazing. 20. Good mental math.
25.
All right. Nice. It almost rhymes. All right, let's go down to 14 now. Uh-oh. Who remembers what quotient means? Carly, what do you think?
The division.
Yes, it is division. So what do I have to write? How do I write this down? It says the quotient of a number of points and 3. What are you thinking? Do we have any idea what that means, number of points? So it's just a variable. So tell me what that is then.
Okay. So would it be 3 divided by a variable or no?
So you always write what is said first in the numerator.
So it's a variable divided by.
Yeah, so what variable are we doing today? V for variable. Very good. You can put 3, P, you can put P if you want, N, X, A, B, I don't care what letter you use. All right, V over 3. All right, now, number 16, Allison. Exactly. It's easy, right?
Can I do the next one, please?
It's kind of hard.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a shot.
So
You can do
3
20.
times 8 is 24.
Good.
24 divided by 4 is 6, and 6 plus A is 4 times C is 11, so 44. So 6 plus 44 is 50.
Wow, that's pretty darn good, buddy. Very, very good. Very good. 50. Excellent. Next.
Okay. 4 plus 8 plus 11 is 23.
Good.
And 6 is
No. Mental math. So I want you to do 6 times 20. 6 times.
6 times 20. 6 times 20 is 180.
You're doing 6 times 30. 6 times 2. Yes, so it'd be 120. And then what's 6 times 3? And then 120 plus 18. You're awesome. All right. Again, sometimes you get a little nervous. It doesn't matter. Or you guys are doing great so far. You're going to be put on the spot soon. Enough. All right, 138 is good. All right, 22.
So two times A is 2 times A is 8 times B is 64.
Good.
Plus 8 times C is 44, so 64 plus 44 is 110.
Ooh, close. Think about it. 64 plus 40.
Oh, I thought it was 66. Okay. That's 108.
Yes, sir. Good job. Don't worry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's good. 108. I'm happy. 108. All right. Let's jump to 24. What property is that, Miss Vaughn?
The zero property.
Yep, zero property.
Property, or should we just write zero?
No, I would do zero property. Just write out zero property. It's okay. All right, I think the next ones are kind of easy. All right. Lander, tell me about 26.
6 times x
Or just,
is 6x.
yes, 6x. Good. Miles, what do you think about 28?
28 is 40x.
That's awesome. Good job. 40x. Mr. Genuine?
Okay. 7. That's 7. Oh, that's 13. Oh, so 23y.
How'd you get that?
Or wait, that's.
I didn't say you were wrong. I asked you how you got it.
Oh, so I did 7 plus 5 is like 7y.
No, no, no. That's a good mistake. You can't combine a number and a letter with addition. You can only put numbers with numbers and letters with letters. You can't do a letter and a number when you're adding.
Oh wait.
There you go.
Oh, I said 23. I thought it was like 10 or something. So 20y.
20
20
plus y.
plus y. Oh.
You can't put them together. You can't put them together. All
Oh,
right.
oh, I get it.
If you put them together, that means you're multiplying them.
Oh, you can't do it.
Right. We're addition.
Oh.
Okay. So the answer is 20 plus y, but I would prefer that you say y plus 20. All right. That's what I would prefer. All right. Let's take a look at 32. Oh, yeah. This one's kind of silly. What do you think? Do you know? Why don't you read it to me?
Gloria has 58 dolls. If she does not add any dolls to her collection, write a number sentence that represents the situation. Then name the property that is illustrated.
What do you think?
50 plus 0.
Yes. Good job. Good job. 58 plus 0. And what property is that? Do you remember? Additive.
Oh, additive.
Yes, very good. The additive identity. Remember, when you add 0, that's an identity because you remain the same. What's the other identity? No, no, no. What do you do to remain the same? You add 0 or
Multiply by 1.
yay, pat yourself on the back, multiply by 1. You can either add 0 or multiply by 1. Multiplying by 1 is called the multiplicative identity. Adding 0 is called the additive identity. Very good. Make sure you're reviewing that now. All right?
What's the identity that repeats itself? Like it's kind of like
That's
3 times
that's
2
commutative,
or
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, now look over the properties again. All right, look over them. Those are the two identities. All right, now if you're talking about inverse when you cancel out. All right, but let's go ahead now. Let's take a look now at 34. I think these names kill me. So here we go. So 34. Yanira is 3 years older than Tim and twice as old as Hannah. Tim is 2 years older than Hannah. How old are Yanira, Tim, and Hannah? Let me hit pause for a second. Miles, give it a shot now. Tell me what you're thinking.
So I thought I did the math by guessing Hannah's age.
All right, how much is Hannah, do you think?
I believe she is 5.
All right, let's put Hannah as 5. Everybody put Hannah as 5 just to see if he's correct. So 5 for Hannah, then what?
Tim was 7.
How do we know that?
Because 5 plus 2 is 7.
Exactly right. 7, and then what?
And then 10, because 5 times 2 is 10, and 7 plus 3 is 10.
You guys, come on now. Does everybody agree with that?
Oh, good job, Miles.
See what I say that? Good job, Miles. And again, listen to what I'm saying, guys. It's not math. It's not me telling you how to do it. You simply have to put in the time, right? You try numbers, right? Now, let's say it didn't work out. Let's say we're just gonna. This is what I would have done to start out with. The youngest someone could be is 1, right? So I would have said, let Hannah be 1. And then it says Tim is 2 years older. So that would put Tim at what? 3. And then it says Yanira is 3 years older than Tim. So that would put Yanira at 6. Well, it also, Yanira is twice as old as Tim. Is that true?
Yeah.
No, it's not true. Because 1 times 2 isn't 6. Now, do you understand what I'm saying by plugging in numbers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have to try to pick the easiest number to work with. So 1 didn't work. So you just make it 2 next. Or if that's not working out, you can do 4. If that's not working out, you can do 10. And you just keep doing back and forth till you get the final answer. That's a super, super important skill. You've got to be able to do that. All right?
Oh, that's a lot easier.
As you get older, though, we'll incorporate the math to show you how you can work backwards. But right now, you're just guessing and checking. All right? Now, the last little bit, all right, I want to talk to you. This is kind of a new topic, so I want to discuss this with you. All right? I don't care really about expression each relation as a table. The only thing I really want to talk to you about today is domain and range. All right, so what I want you to put down is the domain are simply the x values. And the range is simply the what? Say it. The y values. Very good. The y values. Now, for me, it wasn't easy for me to always remember all these rules. So an easy way to remember domain goes with the x and range goes with the y is the fact that they're in alphabetical order. X goes with domain, range goes with y, x before y, d before r. All right, that's how you should remember that. All right? So now, because we're doing the evens, we're going to set up number 36 for you. Here's how I want you to write the answer. D stands for what? Domain. Then you put a colon. Then you got to practice writing it as a set. All right? Is that us? No. I think we got a few more minutes. All right, hold on a second. So now, the domain are simply the x values. So what are the x values here? 2, 2. Does everybody see that now, right? However, you don't repeat. So you only have to do is write 2. That's your answer.
So it's just like kind of
Right.
like the one that's used.
Range. The range of the y values. So, what are the y values?
3, 6,
But in math, we usually write them in order. So instead of doing 3, 6, 5, yes, there you go. The range is 3, 5, and 6. Anybody have any issue with that? What?
Wait, I was just wondering how you figured that it was 3, 5, and 6.
Here's question 36. This is what we're working on.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I mean like 2. how you figured out first that the domain was 2, 2, and 2?
Because I looked at the problem.
It's the
Oh,
This is 2, this is 2, and this is 2. Those are the x values.
oh, like the first.
You didn't, okay, so let me make sure I review on that then. He's telling me he didn't know that. It's written as x comma y, right?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so then the x,
Oh, they're just the first and then y is the second.
perfect.
Oh, I
wait, wouldn't the range actually be 3, 3, 4, and 5?
that's for
We're doing 36, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay. All right, so let's do 38 now. All right? So 30, uh-oh, I don't like that color right now. All right, so let's do 38. Domain. Good for you, buddy. Tell me.
3, 4, and 5.
Excellent. Thank you very much. 3, 4, 5. And then range. Who's going to help me out with the range? Go ahead. All the way in the back. Cool.
6, 12, and 18.
You're awesome, buddy. 6, 12. Isn't that easy, guys?
Yeah.
That's just a definition, all right? That's all you have to know, all right? That's all I'm going to ask you. Does anybody have any questions with that? All right, so let me hit stop now. You guys did an excellent job today.